Hello and welcome back to the OS World Cup 2016 quarterfinals. Got two more matches coming up, two really hype matches, going to be super close. I am Doomsday. Joining me today we have OMG4s. What's going on, man?
Hello there, I'm doing just fine, and how about you, Doomsday?
I'm good, man, I'm good. I'm still like hype from the UK match earlier on. That was so hype.
Oh,
Dear
I
me.
would have loved to watch it, but I just didn't have the opportunity to. At least I heard that you win, so at least you can keep on continuing the tournament. But unfortunately, Locktev can't abuse you for his own commentating needs.
Oh yeah, I still got that excuse. I got to play for the UK lads. But yeah, that was super close. Wow, 4-5 versus Norway. Some really close matches. Once again, no sweeps so far. Every single match has been competitive.
Indeed, and I hope we get some more interesting matches. The next match is going to be Italy versus Canada, as far as I recall correctly. And we've seen both these teams play. It's definitely going to be a close one, but I might give the edge to Canada in this case. What do you think?
I can't say. Well, yeah, I mean, I've watched Canada play a lot. I do rate them as a team. They have some really high-quality players on the roster. And admittedly, coming into this tournament, many of the players on the Italian side I wasn't too familiar with. But I mean, they've pulled results and they've been scared against everyone they've played. I do know they have quite a few high-ranked players in their roster. And, well, this is actually the first match of Italy's I'm casting, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do, obviously, to reach this point, to get through the group stage. You know they've got some serious horsepower, so we'll see how they do versus the Canadians.
Indeed, I agree. But in the case of Canada, I think they've actually been one of the hardest working teams I've seen so far in the tournament. And they really prepare and they are confident in their own abilities, which I believe might give them the small edge over Italy this time around.
They are definitely prepared. I do know that Canada they get themselves prepared, psyched and ready to go before each of these matches, so they'll know exactly what they've got in store for Italy. Everyone's in the room right now, getting sorted, ready to go. On the Italian side, in the room right now, we have Koba, Kirin, Lloyd Chan and DT Sama. On the Canadian side, we have Aza, Vinxis, Corrales and Kaifin in the room, ready to play this first warm-up, which we'll get to you guys in just a moment. Straight away, they're picking Bomani-style tunes, so straight away I can tell that's a Canadian pick. They do like the Bomani tunes.
Indeed, I mean we've got people like Aza who plays a bunch of different rhythm games, and in this case, also has a lot of maps from the Bomani games. Well, thank God for that actually, because the Bomani games have some absolutely astonishing music, and this one is a really cool one as well.
I've heard so many versions of Chrono Diver. This is the first time I've heard this remix though.
Yeah, man, let's just sink it in this case, because I think Canada has prepared something pretty special for us. This might be their last last match in the tournament, and the last warm-up. So, I don't know, let's end it with a bang, perhaps.
Oh yeah, you've got to make use of it. Of course, to remind the viewers who aren't familiar with what point of tournament this is in, Italy and Canada are playing in the losers bracket right now, so the loser of this will be going out. So a lot on the line for these two teams. They have to really bring it out, because the last thing you want to drop out now, a loss in the knockout stages, is always a rough time.
Indeed, this is definitely a way to prove themselves. Canada was pretty confident against Germany. They did lose in the end, but who knows, they might get some kind of revenge later on. They definitely have to show their confidence and keep on bringing that forwards through them or with them in the losers bracket. Alright, so we do have some random rolling in the chat.
You gotta get that rolling going on.
Indeed, gotta get yourself rolling, and the rolls in the chat. You know, some warm up for the bands and picks were rolling. Well, yeah, right. So we've got the first warm up coming in. I guess we can just kind of let this sink in because Canada has definitely got a really interesting map in here with a remix I haven't heard of.
Some spun outs from the Italian team. Is this an Italian pick even? Do they know something we don't?
Well, that might also be the possibility.
End up with some proper just Wizards in Winter style spinners that are so short. They literally hit themselves. That is the thing, that some ranked maps from the old times, like 2007 style, actually have spinners that are so fast you can't even spin them. They just hit themselves. I wonder if this is going to be pulling some sort of gimmick with that.
Oh yeah, definitely. The Wizards of Winter, the map is pretty known for that kind of gimmicky spinner, which doesn't really allow you to go for an SS at all. I mean, it's a fun little mechanic, as long as you don't have it in the rank map. Oh, wait a second.
Oh yeah, about that. Solid quality back at the start. Things have changed quite a bit. We've come quite a ways since then.
Indeed, nowadays we'll just try to make the players slider break on some of these really tricky sliders nowadays. We've seen some really interesting slider patterns coming out and just slider maps in general in the latest 2 years in mapping.
This map's looking pretty standard so far. No early breaks on it. Solid 8-way FC on the early goings right now.
Yeah, and perhaps a bit of a high OD because everyone is lacking a little bit in accuracy, and high OD plus accuracy plus sliders, which are pretty tricky to hit, is pretty hard for your accuracy. And you're gonna tank accuracy, and we can see that across the board from all the players. Alright, and hopefully my voice also kind of warms up until the match starts.
Oh yeah.
So we can get going for this one.
Yeah, you gotta get it going. Just to do a quick rundown of the route these two teams have taken so far. While we've got this warm-up playing. Of course, in the last round, both of these teams did suffer a defeat. Italy was defeated 5-1 at the hands of South Korea, and Canada lost by the same scoreline, 5-1 against Germany. Looking to try and reconcile after that. But I mean, come on. Korea and Germany are two of the biggest teams in this tournament. And they took maps off both of them, so it was a mighty close affair. A lot closer than what the scoreline suggests.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing in O's is that it might be a little bit more snowbally than usual, because in scorelines as in 5-1, you never really see how close it was. I mean, the matches might have been just 10,000 points in difference, and you might have not known. And that's just the way it kind of is in O's. You can't really see that by just looking at it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just how it goes. The scoreline's what stands right now, but when you see the multiplayer links, which are still open, if you check the Host World Cup wiki in the link below, you can see exactly how each match went. You'll see that a lot of those points were actually mighty close in those matches.
Indeed, and suddenly the map is getting a lot more intense with the sliders. This definitely screams more of a 2016 style.
Still waiting to see why those spun outs have come out of Italy, though. I'm waiting to see. Maybe it's just for giggles, who knows.
Yeah, and also a no-fade from what I can see, so perhaps there's a 100% death at the end of the map or something along the lines. I mean, it is getting really intense, pretty hard to egg and follow for most of these players.
Looks like everyone's going to be banking and, well, I thought everyone was going to bank an A then. Lloyd-chan, I think, just tanked below, but that was a mighty intense ending right there. Wow. Escalated quickly.
But as fast as it escalates, it also goes back down, because what goes up must come down, and it pretty much ends really calm again. Nice song, but the remix is really intense, unlike the original.
Solid accuracy coming out of Aza on the Canadian side. A solid 97.5 on that, with just 2 misses with a few slider breaks. And on a map like that, with score v2, that's pretty impressive accuracy on that.
Yeah, 2 misses actually. Looking at the accelerating streams, that's actually pretty impressive. It's really easy to just, in the heat of the moment, just kind of lose your cursor position and then miss like 8 notes in a row in those accelerating streams. Oh, yeah, that was the first one. The second one following by Italy pretty soon, hopefully.
And can't be something more intense than that, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there's always room for more. There's always possibility for more, and we've seen some really interesting moments for now. And that one from Canada was actually a little bit more tame than what some of the most intense ones were. But Locked asking if it's a tactic in the chat is not going to help me out here. I think this is definitely. Oh, it's gonna be Groundhog. Oh. What?
Okay. I'm okay with this.
Yeah, me too. I guess we're finally gonna learn how to become real DJs.
I think maybe this one's a couple of steps above the one we just seen, even though this one's much more old style. It's a tag difficulty. It's designed to be played with 4 people. So yeah.
Yeah, there have been some cases of tag 2s where you have 2 people playing, but most of the case tag means 4 people. And we only have these ranks when they were really old, because people didn't really care back then too much about these kind of difficulties. It was fun having some scoreboards on them. Nowadays they're just reserved for specific people, especially Norwegian people.
Oh yeah, of course. Just for them, just to dominate.
Yeah, but I don't think we're gonna see this on tag team, because I believe it's gonna break.
Yeah, that
wouldn't work. I don't think the client is ready for that.
This map is a super interesting one to watch, though. For those who don't know what Groundhog is, essentially it starts out very tame, but as the song progresses, it gets much more intense, to the point where you reach the end and it's just absolutely insane. It's also approach rate 8 as well, so warming up for that tiebreaker.
Yeah, potential foreshadowing for the following picks coming in from Italy. I mean, who knows? Well, it's pretty a quite classic pick, and I believe most old players should know him, including you, Doomsday, and me. I definitely played this one, and it's pretty fun, but it's definitely really hard because, as you mentioned, it is designed for 4 people, and thus has really insane and intense jumps. There we go. Oh, got that frog out of my mouth.
Well, since people going with a hard rock on this, Kieran and Karalis.
Yeah, absolutely no judgment there. Hard rock on this is actually might make it a lot more easier in terms of reading, but it's not gonna make it easier in terms of aiming, which is also pretty hard on this one.
Oh, and DT Sama is as well, with the spun out and no fail. I guess that's, it's wise. That's wise on this one, I think.
A bit of a alternating-esque patterns in the beginning, some really intense sliders. This is just the beginning, though.
Not bad, but let's face it, that was easy.
Loving all
Why
this
don't we
smoke.
take this to the next level? Come on, let's go.
Just the one FC now. Corrales with the hard rock right now.
Yeah, well, it looks like a forced FC on this case. I mean, it's pretty much a C for now. It might be a B if he keeps on the C though, but it's definitely gonna be a C at the end.
Oh, there you go. Yep, it's a C now. Stage 2.
It's alright, we've got the runner-up Mirror who's gonna try to go for the Mirror Dong, the D.
I think it's time I introduce you to a friend of mine.
Spaz and Eve with that B though.
Feedback.
The accuracy
Shall we
god
see
on
how
this
clever
one.
you really are? It's time to sort out
Going
the
into a
men.
really sort of swing heavy part now. Lots of 1/3s in this section.
And some slider velocity changes, which means that you've got to be careful on these sliders.
Wow. Crumbs. Wow. Watch out. Wow. This is no time to coach.
See some combos come out in this section now. After the bit the starts disorientating people are getting their footing on this one now. I think it's going to be more of a question of who passes though once we reach the end. So
Indeed, because it just gets harder and harder.
Cripes. Well, it looks like we're coming to the end.
Spazin has it back to an A right now. Actually,
But do you
keeps
and
going.
you have
And when going through this map, you pretty much enter 3 different phases. The first one is accepting that you keep on missing, which is the first one. And then the second one is like the phase of, hey, I'm getting the hang of this, which is the middle, when things are actually somewhat decent, but you got used to approach rate. And then the third phase is the ending, which is just gonna kill you, and you're just gonna throw your hands in the air and give up.
Come on, quit.
Reaching that point now.
Sorry, am I putting you off? Don't fall apart now.
Look at Koifing go. He's comboing all these jumps like a boss.
There's really no point. I warned you.
Here come the fails now.
Have I really made
Oh
my
dear.
match?
Actually, it's 2 fails to 2 actually. So half the room passing it looks like.
Well, 2 of these passes were with no fails, so who knows how much of a pass it really was, other than just,
Oh god, yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, they were no fail. Solid warm-up pick. Gotta give props to Italy. It's a solid pick. I approve.
Indeed, but now we've got the warm-ups away. We're gonna go with the rows and the picks for both of these teams, and then the rows and then the bans and then the picks. So we know what kind of maps they're gonna ban. We might see some more interesting picks around. I mean, things like Illumiscape haven't been picked yet. Who knows? Someone might wanna play the last battle.
The band's coming through now. Deus Ex Machina is the band from Canada. Banning Hard Rock. That's interesting. I'd figure that'd be one of the mods they'd find strength on, but nope, they are banning the jumpy Hard Rock pick. Italy's banning Scarlet Rose as well, the alternation style no mod pick. One of the trickier ones in the pool, getting rid of that one. It's a bit of a wild card, could go either way, but they don't trust it. I think that's a decent pick against Canada, considering the more technical style of it. would actually suit players like Aza or Trick Mirror if they come in. I feel like that's one Canada would be really good at, and they have a lot of good alternation players in their ranks as well. But I'm curious to see why Canada banned Hard Rock. I suppose we'll see. I suppose they've been doing their research, they know what they're doing. They're not going with that Hard Rock pick. First pick will go to Italy. Let's see what they come out with to start off this match.
And it'll be Knight of Knights, which is the approach rate 8-3 mod map.
Wow, first pick is Knight of Knights. That is interesting. Going straight for, you know, one of those wildcard picks right out of the gate, not starting safe at all.
Indeed, I would have personally expected this to come in from Canada and not from the Italy side.
I think with this one, the element you think of when you pick it is how the mod players do. For the no-mod players, the low spacing and fairly basic rhythm of it, outside of the stack leniency, which is 0, so when notes stack, you don't see the notes underneath, they all sit on the exact same point, as you'll see. It is an element, but no mod, that is not an issue. But for the mod players, the hidden players, that's where the difficulty comes in, and I feel like if you're going to pick this map, you'll be looking at your mod players, and if they are super comfortable on this, that's when you bring this out, because no mod players will most likely be fine, and Italy must trust it.
As long as you have some decent skills on approach rate and you can see this, no modern players shouldn't worry too much, but it's gonna be deciding factor is gonna be hidden or hard rock, and hidden is gonna be somewhat difficult on this map because of the slider stack leniency, as you mentioned. You definitely need to know the map on hidden. On hard rock, it's a lot more just it's a lot easier to improvise on it on hard rock, which I think is gonna be the optimal thing to do for Italy, and it is.
Yep, you are right. Double hard rock coming out of Italy. We're seeing 3 mods coming out of Canada, though. With one player taking double mod, so they're going to have that score advantage, assuming they can combo, of course.
Indeed. And the hidden from Aza, I believe that should be pretty safe, as safe as it can really get, because Aza definitely likes playing hidden, and it's pretty comfortable in hidden for day 10.
He'll be fine on this, I imagine. Miruhon going double mods is an interesting choice, though, but he is a very handy hidden hard rock player, so we'll see how he does. We're seeing breaks early on, though, on the Italian side. 3 breaks already, but plenty of combo in this.
And the thing I would definitely look out for are hard rock players of accuracy, because this changes from just, you know, even number of a stream and going back to uneven numbers, and that transition is pretty hard to make sometimes. Like, you have doubles and then triples, and that's pretty much the easiest form of it. And we already see people accuracy drop pretty hard.
Yeah, the early goings on this map are very one-sided. Canada nearly doubling it at the Italy score, but Italy have that 1 FC in Kirin that they can use as leverage if he can hold on faster than the Canadian players can, of course. At the moment, Canada holding very strong in the early goings. That accuracy from Aza, really impressive so far. Miruhong and Corrales doing okay. They're matching the mod players on Italy, and then some right now. Looking very good for Canada so far, with another break from Spaz and Eve. First break on Canada side. Kaifin breaks, one of the no-mod players, but everyone else holding strong. Hitting this section with lots of doubles. This can trip you up easily if you don't know this map so well. You see one of the hidden players break. Miru Hong breaks. Aza holding strong though. Being able to do this with hidden is really impressive. Can he lock this section out? And he does. Italy have some nice combos now. They're actually out-comboing Canada right now with that score difference. Can they make it up? There isn't much left, and I feel like Canada are still going to have to completely implode to concede this. Aza's still going super strong with that hidden. He doesn't look like he's going to break. It really doesn't. He's nailed the harder parts of the song, no problem at all. And I think at this point the damage is done, assuming nothing dramatic at the end. I highly doubt it slows down a lot at the end. There we go. A very strong win for Canada on this first map. An Italian comeback was threatening there, but Canada holding strong. Aza with that mighty FC 99.46 with hidden. Super impressive. Nice combo from DT Samurai as well to bring it back, but it wasn't enough, and it is 1-0 to Canada.
Indeed, impressive FC by Aza. Just gotta repeat that one again. A pick which unfortunately backfired for Team Canada.
Yeah, it didn't work out at all for Italy. Breaks at the start happened, and from then on in, they just couldn't match Canada at all.
Well, that's actually a really good counter from Canada. A really good answer by going another approach at beat pick. Italy did prevent themselves from going approach at 8 mostly on the free mod pick, and now they're going for the hidden.
Yeah, it's a smart pick. Of course, Raijin seeing play very heavily banned, but not this time. We're seeing it first picked by Canada.
Indeed, you've gotta be careful of some really difficult jump patterns and the ending, because you have really high HP drain, which means if you miss multiple times in the end, you're gonna die.
The HP drain just makes this such an evil map, because near the end there are some really nasty rectangular jump patterns that are really quite tricky, especially on this low AR. And as Force said, if you miss a couple of those notes, you can easily just drain out and fail. So Canada must be feeling really confident on this. Of course, after that last map, you can't blame them. They had such a heavy win. But if they drop the ball just once, they can easily falter. Seeing Cobra come in for Italy on this one. Vinxis and Ignite coming in for Canada for this hidden pick.
It'll start with a little bit of a rather low spacing, but then keeps on increasing, and the end is the point where you really have to be careful. It might swing either way if you just kind of die, because, you know, your points are not going to be counted towards your team.
Well, quite a few breaks early on. We're seeing only the one FC left from Aza. Everyone else is broken at this point. Very early on. There's still quite a bit to bring it back though, but that's going to be a huge advantage early on for the Canadian side.
Aza definitely has the lead with the accuracy and the combo, but, you know, just one mistake at the end is enough.
With some of the sections at the end, it can definitely turn. Like, the harder parts of this map are in the end, so definitely it's not over. Oh, those misses though on the Italian side gonna hurt them. They only have DT Sama to combat 3 major combos on the Canadian side.
Oh, I believe there was a team-wide fail from Italy.
Yeah, it was. The Italian side failing out on this one. Ignite failed on the Canadian side at that point, but 3 players on the Canadian side were still passing. And because of that, this pick working really, really well for Canada. Very, very intelligent pick on this one to bring it 2-0.
Indeed.
Oh no. Was that the second wipe?
Yeah. So this map's super unforgiving. You just miss 2 notes and your drain just brings you to a fail. It's so evil.
See, this happened to Argentina just before, and I was kind of thinking, well, I don't think people are going to want to pick it now.
Well, at least we've seen it. We've seen it a few times, but... Well, yeah. Well, there we go.
Yeah, nothing you can really do, but in the end, it was a good pick by Canada. You've got to give it to them. They definitely saw weakness and they abused it to the fullest extent. I can definitely imagine some more approach with 8 picks coming in from Canada.
Well, certainly, if they get through on this one, it's something they can abuse because they were looking really strong on that, actually. They were all holding nice combos. Give or take a couple of misses near the start, they really brought it back. And in the future, I feel like that's something they can abuse against some of the future teams if they can get through this one. At the moment, they are definitely looking really strong right now.
Interestingly enough, even though Italy got wiped on that, the actual overall accuracy went from 91.8 to 93.26.
There you go.
It shot up by quite a bit.
It really did. So the accuracies on the Canadian side were really high, though, as well. They're knocking about 95, 96 on average. I mean, it looks like from glancing.
It's like, yeah, 99.61, which I think is probably the highest.
Wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. We've seen the next pick coming out now, though. Sense, double time coming out of the Italian side, going for speed to try and counter this momentum right now.
Yeah, I think the next highest up that is 98.49, which is from Russia.
Yeah, well, the first double pick from Italy. It's definitely a different approach than the previous one, which was a approach of 8 free mods. Another good idea, apparently, against Canada, which is really good at reading. But who knows? Double is going to show another aspect of the team. Let's see how well they can do in that.
You have to switch things up because, like you said, Knights and Knights backfired, so they need to switch things up. Going for the speed, and that is a decent pick against Canada. They do have some handy speed players this year, though. Kyle coming in for this map. Everyone else looks like they're sticking in there. Italy sticking with the same lineup, I believe. But we'll see how they do on this one, going for the 250-ish BPM DT map. This one's pretty much just intense the whole way through. No massive difficulty spikes to mention in particular, but it's all about keeping consistent.
Indeed, as much as a double time pick it is, it's just about speed and keeping your speed and consistency on yourself point. But if they can't win on this one, they might definitely need a strategic check to see what else can they really pick except for a safe no mod.
Immediately a more solid start coming out of Italy now. All 4 players FCing through the early stages, so same with Canada. Accuracy is pretty much neck and neck right now, nothing splitting them, just a hair's breadth in favour of Italy. Oh, but there goes Loichan. The first break is on the Italian side. Canada going to be taking a minor advantage because of that. That's all right now, though. All of the players holding nicely. Some good accuracies coming out. Kieran and Kyle holding a solid 99, as well as Ignite. Oh, and Spaz and Eve as well. Really good accuracies so far.
And Ray's actually missing, and missing once again.
So did Vinxis as well. 3 FCs to 2. Oh, never mind. Never mind.
The moment it looked good for Italy, they just kind of lost it by losing 2 cores at the same time.
Oh dear. Spaz and Eve holding strong though. But it's Kyle versus Spaz right now. A break from either player will tilt this. There's only just the smallest amount between the two teams.
And the Battle of March is currently 60,000 points difference. And I think the comm advantage is actually in Italy's favor, so they might even take this if we keep their accuracy up.
Oh, it's going to be close. I don't think they have enough, but a couple of accuracy drops on the Canadian side, but it's not going to happen. No.
I believe that combo drop is gonna make it.
Yep, that's signed, sealed, and delivered now. The full combo from Kyle, just about edging it in Canada's favour on this one. Mighty, mighty close. It almost looked like a brilliant pick from Italy, but just an inch away. One miss from Spaz and Eve and a slider break from Kieran and Ignite.
Yeah, the accuracy from Kyle and Ignite definitely helped out here, because that just might have given the edge to Italy. Well, other than that, what else do they really have left? In the free mod pick, they saw that Vinxis and that the Team Canada definitely has some hardware powerhouses like Aza and Mirahong, who can hold their grounds on hardware, and definitely the rest of Canada isn't too far behind that. Maybe something in terms of Nomad might be an option for Italy if they really want to go for something.
Yeah, sticking safe would be good, but I feel like Canada would be really strong on that. But the left field picks haven't really been working for Italy so far, even if that last map was super close. Maybe they should go for another DT, but now they are going for Yorinaku, the hidden pick. Very long map, consistency, hidden pick, not too much in terms of massive difficulty spikes once again, but a long length to keep concentrated for.
Yeah, another really good pick, I believe, because Canada is really comfortable on hidden and can use that to their advantage. After that, I can imagine Canada going for some push 8 picks perhaps, and then might branch out to, I don't know, perhaps say free mods, because they do have some mod variety there.
Yeah, I'm with you that this pick really suits Canada. Not only in the fact that a lot of the players prefer hidden over many other mods, but with this amount of momentum, they're going to be feeling quite comfortable right now. So going for this pick when Italy are going to be shaken somewhat is pretty good, because silly misses are definitely going to come out of Italy, unless they can pull themselves together, but they're under the cosh right now.
Indeed, and Mr. Spaz actually admitting to his own weakness in hidden in the chat. So once again, underlining what a great pick this is coming in from Canada.
Well, some players are like, oh, I can't play hidden, or oh no, I can't go fast, and then they just pull it off out of the blue,
Yeah, but if you truly believe that you cannot do something, then it's even harder to perform there, just surprisingly, because your mental state actually influences you a lot. If you do not think you can do it and you have no confidence, you're more likely to miss because you don't concentrate hard enough and try hard enough.
We'll see if Italy can bring this one back. If they can pull themselves together, they can definitely pull this one back, but this is a pick that really does suit Canada on paper. I can imagine a lot of FCs on this one, though, because the map itself is quite standard in its layout. So if there's anything to try and pull yourself together, it's going to be on a map like this.
Yeah, but then if you think you definitely have the disadvantage of it being the enemy pick, and then having failed on the last hidden pick doesn't give you too much of a confidence boost.
Well, right coming out of the gate, the accuracy advantage is heavily in favour of Italy in these very early stages. Some hundreds coming out on that first 5-note stream from Canada.
Oh, and the first blood miss goes to Mirahong.
Oh, yeah. He's missed a couple of notes, actually. His teammates are holding strong, but at the moment, with that 4-way FC on Italy's side, they're going to be pushing an advantage right now.
Yeah, Mirahong seems to be losing it just a little bit.
Look at the accuracies. Oh, there goes Cobra, though, but still looking pretty decent because those accuracies on the Italy side are as close to perfect as you can get. 99s across the board on the FCs. Aza holding that 99.8, but his teammates have dropped a bit of accuracy.
And that miss by DT Sam, I believe, is gonna definitely help out Canada and even out the accuracy differences with the combo difference.
Just about to overtake. Oh wait! Oh no! Yeah, I think they still will because 2 FCs still on. Canada's going to be taking this lead once again as we reach the last third or so, coming into the final bridge. And there we go. Well, at the moment, the player that said he couldn't play hidden was carrying, but there he goes. The final FC for the Italian team has fallen. Just leaves Ignite and Aza on the Canadian side to push an advantage even further on their own pick.
Yeah, seems like it was a big lose after all, because he's still holding a 99% accuracy. Unless I cannot read the 9 behind his username.
No, it is 99. But yeah, it turns out it was all a bluff. But it's not going to work. That little miss there was the last bastion. I can't see it turning now. The way Aza's been playing on hidden recently right now, I can't see him breaking at all. Yeah, the Italian players have done well to bring their combos back, but it's too little too late at the moment. This one's going to Canada. Almost looked like this pick was going to go in Italy's favour with some early accuracy drops here and there, but turns out the consistency of Canada has won the day on this one.
Indeed, and Mirahong definitely has gotten it together after the early misses. But then he goes again and misses once again, but it's okay, damage has been done. He has a big enough combo to make a difference.
No Aza FC this time. Oh, damn it. Why did you have to do that? I almost had that prediction down, but it's fine. Ignite seals the FC on the Canadian side.
Indeed, but at least it wasn't a different tournament where one of his fans actually told him for every map he sees he gets like $5 or $10. Spoiler: he only has seen one map, unfortunately. But $10 is $10 is $10, right?
No pressure, you know what I mean?
No pressure though.
The accuracy though, 2 100s, 4 100s and 150 on Spazanev's side. Yeah, his hidden is on point no matter what he says, but unfortunately a slider break is the order of the day for him. But yeah, look at this. 4-0.
Italy's potentially last pick. They definitely need to know what they're good on currently, and or maybe they just got outclassed by Canada for now. Maybe DT was their last straw. I mean, anything is really possible, but you know, something like no mod. We haven't seen too much no mod really. Mostly a free mod, double time, and hidden map currently.
Yeah, Italy need to go with something comfortable. It's at this point they need to stick to the comfort zone if they're going to claw their way back into this. Just like I said, a safe no mod would be nice, or going for that other DT pick, which almost worked out for them. But yeah,
Indeed.
it's a sticky situation for Italy. Hopefully they can pull it through.
They do know that Fremont might be a little bit risky because Canada has some really good no-mod and mod players all around. No-mod might be an opportunity which has been untested so far for both teams in the current map pool, so that might be an option, like a roulette coming in, or double time, which was pretty close.
Yeah, I feel like going for another double time pick would be handy for them. Connect is actually quite difficult because some of those patterns in there are quite nasty for players that aren't used to doing that double time aim, because it is at a very high BPM. I feel like if Italy have those DT players, and the way they played before was nice, but it turns out no, they're going for boot the no mod pick. This is quite speedy as well though. 236 BPM, so it's got quite a bit of speed to it. Trying to leverage that once again against the Canadian side. They're using this as their breakthrough map.
I like the idea of it, but I do not like the implication of it that it's still, which has a factor in it, which some people might ignore, which is actually it's being approached at 9 on 236 BPM. It is speedy, but it also has a high note density. You see a lot of notes at the same time, and Italy didn't show too much promise at a high note density in the Fremont and in the hidden pool. But maybe it was just because it was a bit lower approach at 9, something they didn't practice. But I'm definitely gonna give the advantage to Canada in this case.
Perhaps. It looks like actually in the multiplayer chat, we're seeing they actually didn't want to pick this. They're not sure. We might see a switch to ROG, an imitation.
Yeah, ROG is actually, I find ROG to be a more fitting pick because streaming on 220 BPM is untested, and if Italy has the power to do so, great, let's go for it.
Yeah, looks like that's what they're doing. I'm curious to see what the Canadian side do for this. We're seeing swaps instantly. Ignite and Trick Mirror coming in. Trick Mirror making his debut in this match. He's played in previous matches, but he's in this for the speed pick.
Well, I find that's gonna be the best lineup for Canada coming in. This is definitely the only Fremont pick I can see Italy winning. Actually, maybe for a lead, depending on how good Italy is at this, because this is one of the maps where mods actually don't really matter too much, because it is approach to 10 already and CS3 I believe. So even if you go harder, it just increases the OD, which is the most important thing. Jumps aren't too hard, it's all about streaming. Also, hidden on approach to 10 isn't too terribly hard either, because you don't have to follow a too high of a delay. But Trick Mirror is really good at streaming, so I really like him coming in his debut for this match currently.
Well, looks like we're waiting on one of the Canadian players to pop in. One more swap to happen. Miru apparently. Miru Hong. You've been summoned.
Yeah, Miru Hong is trying to bomb up with 168 BPM streams for this 220 BPM pick. It's all according to plan. They wanna do the first sweep of the day, I believe.
There we go. Canadian teams all set up ready for this one. Quite a bit of a wait. I wonder if this is going to affect the way some of these can deal with streaming, because waiting for a long time when you're trying to play a speed pick can mess up some people. Italy has been waiting there for a while.
And he made part of the plan to kind of make the enemy team lose their warm-up and just get really cold fingers.
Oh yeah. It's all just a ruse, but here we go.
You see the hidden, which doesn't influence the difficulty too much.
Some of the more spaced long streams, though, you can miss the whole thing if you miss a line, which happens. But we're seeing that hidden hard rock coming out of Miru Hong, his preferred mod choice. Early break from Trick Mirror, first break of this map.
Yeah, but the streams will come in pretty shortly, and that is gonna make or break the map for both these teams.
Here we go. First break from Vinxis. Kirin also falling for the Italian team. 3 FCs to 2 right now. So far so good for the Italian team. That Miruhong FC with that 99% with Hidden Hard Rock. Very nice boost to their team right now. They're still in punching distance.
Oh, but another miss by the Canadian side, Trick Mirror. Might give him the advantage, but then Spaz is following up with a miss of his own.
All the accuracy drops tilt it in favour of Canada. Oh, it's close. Miru dropped a few 100s there. Still just 40k in it. Nice accuracy coming out of Spaz though. But 2 FCs to 2 right now. It's all coming down to the accuracy difference and Miru's mod advantage. And Ignite as well, actually.
Yeah, Ignite actually has gone under the radar with his hidden. It is pretty close, at least one of the closest picks, as close as Italy can really get.
Oh, wow. Okay. Both teams dropping accuracy on that last stack, but that just cancels out. The winner is Canada, and they will be taking this 5-0. The clean sweep, the first clean sweep of the knockout stage. And it's at the hands of Canada. Wow, 2 FCs to 2, but the 2 mod FCs on the Canadian side tilting it. And there we go. Italy are bowing out. They've done well, they've fought, but unfortunately they are going out on the end of a 5-0. But well played to Canada.
Yeah, Canada is looking out for blood after that loss against Germany, wanting to prove themselves once again against the rest of the OWC teams. And they definitely are the first clean sweep. That's an accomplishment.
Yeah, really putting a message out there. I think there'll be a threat to a lot of the maybe quote-unquote bigger teams, the top seeds, if they keep playing like that. That was a mighty fine performance from them.
Indeed, but there will come a point where the teams kind of hit a skill scene or hit a ceiling of what they can comfortably do, and who knows, maybe that time will come in for Canada next round. Or they might even prevail and shoot up against the top seeded teams and advance. Who knows, a grand finals with Canada might be a possibility.
Well, you never know. I mean, what you said is true, of course. They may reach a point where they simply cannot keep up, but that's what they're going to prove us wrong on. That said, though, next match, Canada come up against Poland, so they have a tougher match coming up. But on this performance, you definitely can't rule them out.
Oh yeah, well, against Poland, they definitely need to bring all the guns they have hidden away.
And there we go, but looks like we have a little bit of time before the next match, the final match of the day between Brazil and the United States. Looks like we actually